Hello, Jason Meeks here. Today, I want to uh, give a testimony about a supernatural experience that I had pretty recently. This supernatural experience was very unique to myself because it was the first time I ever had this experience. So my wife and I, we were on the couch watching a very well-known ministry program called It's Supernatural, hosted by Sid Roth. I'm sure many of you are very familiar with that program. We've actually been watching that program since 2019, and this particular day, which like I said, it was recent. We were watching, and he had a female guest on the show, and she was ministering healing through prayer. And as my wife and I normally do, we join in agreement on the prayers of the guests. To be honest with you, from the time we've been watching it, we actually received a lot of impartation from the guests as they ministered through prayer. And a lot of supernatural experience have been happening in both of our lives since we've been watching the program. Okay. So back to this more recent program here, the female guest, I don't remember her name, but I know she was ministering through prayer. And while she was ministering through prayer, I had my eyes closed in agreement to the prayer. And suddenly I opened my eyes for a second, and I kid you not, I see the woman's face right in front of me. And I see her face and I see her mouth moving. She was praying right directly in front of me. Okay. I know that sounds crazy. To some of you, it may sound crazy. To others, you may be like, oh, no, this definitely sounds right. But that's exactly what happened. Okay, like I said, I have my eyes closed in agreement with the prayer. I open it and I see the same woman on TV who's praying. I see her face right in front of me, and I see her mouth moving, praying right directly in front of me. So, as you all know, there's always a saying that says, which is very true, that says there's no distance in the spirit. And this is proof. This testimony, let it serve as proof that is absolutely the truth. There is no distance in the spirit. A person can be praying in in the city, a whole different state, whole different country, and a whole different time of day or date. And you stand in agreement with that prayer. There's no distance in the spirit. There's no distance in the supernatural. Okay, so to be totally honest with you all, I tried to disregard that and try to make myself believe that this was just some figment of a trick of my eye. Like, okay, well, I just looked at TV and then all of a sudden, yada, 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 I'm seeing that face from the TV right in front of me. So, and I dealt with this for a couple of days. Did I really experience what I think I experienced? And I'm going to tell you two reasons why I know for sure, without a doubt, what I seen was exactly what I seen. Okay, the first reason is that, like I said, we've been watching It's Supernatural since 2019. And we've probably wouldn't have watched at least 90% of the episodes, I'm sure. Okay, so because back then we were used to even watch the older ones, from way back when. So we've probably at least watched 90% of the episodes. Okay, so out of all these times that my wife and I stood in agreement with these corporate prayers that the guests will make, or Sid himself will make, no time have I ever had the experience that I had this time where I actually see the person's face in front of me praying. Okay, so that was the first reason why I can't dismiss this, because if this was a trick of the eye of me watching the TV, then this same thing would have happened um, at any time. We watch TV and I don't close my eyes or turn away, and all of a sudden I see this the person's face who I just seen in TV on the TV screen in front of me. So that was the first reason why I was like, okay, I can't discredit this, because why all of a sudden my eyes would be playing this trick on me now after all this time, after all the TV I've watched, nothing like in my life, nothing like this has ever happened. Okay, the second reason is because of experiences that I've had similar before. But like I said, this is the first time this particular experience have happened, but I've had similar experiences with faces. Okay, perhaps the first experience I remember seeing with a face was one night I woke up in the middle of the night and I seen a face near my wife's side of the bed. Okay, and it was just a face, and I remember seeing the face, and I remember telling my wife about it, like, hey, I seen a face. And I would later learn that individuals who astral project, they would give you that testimony. Okay, backdrop here. It was this one individual who used to astral project before he became a Christian. And he was sharing the testimony in which he astral projected in his one of his relatives' room or whatever, and his relative told him later that, hey, I seen your face in the bedroom with me. Okay, so that was that testimony. It was another Christian brother who was had shared a testimony about seeing a face from some occultic person who was trying to astral project in his room. Okay, so that's what I thought of when I saw the face that was hovering by my wife's side of the bed. This probably was probably like a year and a half or so ago, maybe 2 years ago, something like that. Okay, so that was my first dealing with seeing the face. Okay, the next time was something, a time in which I hope by God's will I'll share a video with you about, but it was in a dream. I was having a dream, and all of a sudden, the witch's face infiltrated my dream. It just came out of nowhere, and I see this face, and she spoke she attempted to speak a curse, and that's what she was, and that's what it was. But it was just a face. It was like a dream. I was having a dream completely, nothing to do with any, a witch or anything. And then all of a sudden, just randomly, like if it was being like a person being photobombed, I see this witch's face pop up and start talking in the midst of this whole not related dream that I'm having. And like I said, I'm not going to get into that too much this particular episode here, but I hope to share with that pretty soon with you all, as God will. So because of these experiences, I know what I saw was actually what I seen. And it just gives credit to the supernatural power of God. It gives credit to the fact that there is no distance in the spirit. It gives fact to the incredible things that takes place behind the scenes in the realm of the spirit. Now, I shared testimonies about, like I said, witches doing that and astral projecting and whatnot. So we know if there's no distance in the spirit with the demonic, God is much more powerful, and the things of God is much more powerful than the demonic. So if there's no distance in the spirit with the demonic, of course there's no distance in the spirit with God. Okay, so that lets me know when we stand in agreement with people praying, that in the spirit realm, it's as if they are actually, not as if, they are actually, they're present in the spirit realm with you. When you stand in agreement with somebody, you can be praying at home, praying at somebody who's in the hospital. I know from this experience that if I'm praying, that my spirit is actually present there, praying for that person. I believe that 100% now after this experience. I would have not imagined that prior to this. But after this experience, and I'm seeing this woman on the TV, and I seeing her in front of me, her face praying, they're right directly in front of me. I know that this is what's happening behind the scene in spirit realm when people are praying for you. This is what happens in the spirit realm when witches are trying to put curses on you as well. So, this is happening in the spirit realm, whether it's the demonic or if it's a person saying a prayer who's a spirit-filled believer saying a prayer for you. This is also happening. So one thing that I hope to always portray in these videos that I share is that, it's being able to testify what is actually happening behind the scenes in the realm of the spirit. It's so much going on, so much more than meets the eye. When we ask the Lord to allow us to see in the spirit, this is exactly what one of those examples of seeing in the spirit is. You're actually seeing the things that are taking place in the spirit realm, in which your natural eyes otherwise would not have seen. So, like I said, this experience actually did happen. I personally tried to fight the fact of this experience myself. A couple of days I was fighting it. I even told my wife, I was like, I'm going to tell you what I seen, but maybe it was just my eyes messing with me. Okay, but after that, after the 2 days of really just trying to ponder this thing and then to rationalize it from based upon the experience with seeing the face of the witch in my dream, and knowing that nothing like this had ever happened before while I'm watching the TV and participating in being in agreement with for corporate prayer. So this is something that actually did happen. I'm here to testify to you today that this is something that's happening with you all in the spirit realm when you are praying for someone who is at a distance away from you, or someone is praying for you. It's as their spirits. I'm not going to begin to understand this totally, because like I said, this is the first time it has happened. Perhaps the Lord will give me more wisdom, understanding of exactly how this is happening, where I can maybe teach better about this. But some kind of way, their spirit is there present while they're praying for you, no matter where the distance is. So let this video, and for those who are listening audibly through the podcast, let this be proof to you by this testimony that there is indeed no distance in the spirit. Till next time, be blessed.